A Sports Psychiatry here today. NFL agent Vince Calo with us, talking about athletes' transition both to the National Football League, to professional sport, and out of professional sport. Honored to be here with you today. Thank you for taking some time out.
Thank you very much.
So first, let's kind of talk about how you transition into law school and into becoming a sports agent.
I'm an NFL agent because I love the game of football. Played it since I was 3, all the way through. Did 1 year in Mountain Union College. Never got the growth spurt I was hoping for, and it didn't have crazy jets. So was able to play, a game that I loved, and football was like life, truly from 3rd grade on. And so when it became apparent that growth spurt was not coming, I decided to sort of pivot into more of a sports business, sports law type of thought. And went to law school, went to New York Law in Manhattan. They had a pretty good sports and entertainment program, so I wanted to focus on that. And then being a Midwest guy and all that stuff, I moved back, settled down, and was just practicing law, business. I wanted to get a good idea of contract negotiation, business, law, basic elements of a contract. And after I was practicing for a few years, and then in 2010 I sat for the NFLPA exam, which is a process in and of itself. You can only apply 1 month a year, and the exam was pretty tough. The exam was pretty tough. It was like a little mini bar exam, but got through that, and then start paying your agent fees and dues and more malpractice insurance, but I was able to sort of do what I love, so it just didn't feel like work. Focused on grassroots of Northeast Ohio and some football players that are from here. And
awesome. From a growth element, take us through what helped you with that transition. How did you, from a mindset approach, almost similar to how you would maybe consult an athlete with moving to a new city or moving to a new town, having a different opportunity, what went through your head and what were some of the positives or negatives around that experience?
Just, great support system, but, I'm very lucky to have a really good family. And so they sort of encouraged me every step of the way. They provided some financial support. Not a trust fund baby, so it wasn't just a, go do whatever you want to do, but, I had support from a great family and just sort of my own personal inner drive, I guess, to want to go do something different, and not just be another lawyer in Cleveland from Cleveland Law School. Sort of differentiate myself from the pack a little bit, knowing that I wanted to go into sports and entertainment. And at that time, I was thinking about maybe going into a front office type of role, but it didn't happen. So I said, I'm going to go start my own agency. That's all that. That's jumping ahead.
No, absolutely. That passion that you touch on there, that drive, it can help so many guys with transition, because as athletes, you want to put those blinders on to a degree. When you get immersed in your sport, when you arrive at that new city as a top draft pick, as a mid-level pick, as an undrafted free agent, wherever you're at, you want to put those blinders on and focus and let that passion really come out. What do you see guys that don't have those blinders sometimes? And this is jumping ahead for sure, because I want to get back to kind of chart your story a little bit more. But while we're on the topic, do you see guys that have an inability to put those blinders on sometimes? And how do you, maybe as an agent, is maybe the first guy to notice it or one of the first people to notice it? How do you put those blinders back on for an athlete?
It's a lot. I think what the public doesn't understand, what people that aren't in the business don't understand, you're dealing with young men, and I, for one, at 22 or 21 or 23, I was pretty wild, at that time I was already living in New York for law school, but it's a lot. It's a big transition. These guys go from hey, I'm making, I'm surviving on a scholarship, and I need, $20 for pizza, to $700,000 wire into their account. So we try to jump on it immediately, as far as you need to be prepared. You need to be prepared for immediate change. The Sharks are going to circle. They're already circling. And when you get to your NFL city, this is precious territory, and you better cherish every second of it. You better try to stick for every second, because it can be gone in a second. You can be the league MVP 1 year, and 2 years later you're out of the league. Colin Kaepernick could be, nobody's too big for the NFL.
Yeah,
they're just not, and it's the way the industry, for better or worse, is set up. Sort of churning and burning through guys. You get injured, you're a half a step slow. In the NBA, you're still getting a paycheck. In MLB, you're still getting a paycheck. In the NFL, you're cut.
And that
so you better have those blinders on.
Absolutely, because that lack of development is something that we see from a mental health standpoint. That kind of makes football different from baseball and basketball, because the emphasis is not as much on developing and selecting a guy for a skill set or character or what have you, but then you have to, you have an opportunity with a lot of those teams to develop them. Whereas with football, like you said, it is churn through guys as fast as you can. If you can't make it, move on.
It's intense, and that's why, not to jump ahead, but day one, we go meet these rookies and their families, just to recruit them. We're a little different than most agencies. Most agencies are selling, hey, we'll get you tickets to the Drake concert, and rah, shish kebab. And we're like, you better get there, you better stay there as long as you can, and you better protect your nest egg. When we talk about the stock market and the bond market, and not pop bottles we do some of that too, for sure.
Yeah.
We like to have fun, but most of our competition sells a dream, and that's why 79% of these guys are bankrupt or in financial distress within 2 years of leaving, and we're sort of trying to change the market, trying to change that. So,
and that's phenomenal. I love the way that you phrased it in terms of selling a dream versus almost just living out a dream. I mean, most of these guys are blessed to do what they do, and then playing in the National Football League, playing Major League Baseball, NBA, whatever, is a dream in and of itself. And as a sports agent, to hear somebody talk about protecting that dream as opposed to trying to pop bottles or throw money around is encouraging.
We're in it not because it's a business, not because our dads do it. My partner and I are in it because we played football. We loved it. Went through 2 days when they were allowed back in the Stone Age, and love the game. And it's very much a gladiator sport. And we see CTE cases and concussion cases, OBs. It's real. It's real. And I, for one, I'm just like, look, if that's even an issue, retire, leave. I want you to be able to play with your kids when you're 50, and your grandkids. So it's very, very important to us, and we'll lose clients, and so be it. We're looking for the type of client that is business driven. We don't even use the term agent. I mean, we are agents, we're licensed agents, but we're business partners for lifetime, and that's kind of what we sell. Like, there's football. It's going to be a very brief part of your life. God willing, you play for 10 years, which is almost unheard of anymore in the NFL.
Yeah.
You're going to be 33 when you're done. You're a baby. So we tell 21-year-olds that when we're in their living room, and it resonates with some, and some it doesn't. But we talk about second career. Start thinking about it now, right now, because NFLP does offer some good programs, and I don't want to jump around too much, but they offer some good programs these guys can get into early. And the nature of the business is you're an Achilles, you're an ACL, you're a whole hamstring away from it being over. And we don't want our clients to be shocked. Yeah, oh my God, football's over. Now what do I do? My life's over. So we try to we want them to play for 10 years. We make the time and money investment in them to play for a long time. But we know the business. So
as you get a guy that's about to make this transition, this monumental transition for them from maybe from one financial bracket to the next, but even beyond that in terms of the level of sport, the level of competition that they're going from, even from major college football to the professional level. What is your two things I'd like to touch on? Number one, is there any one surefire thing that you hit on in that first meeting in terms of advice outside of maybe start thinking about that second career as that player transitions? What's that one thing you hit on? And then number two, what do you warn them will be the anchor on the speedboat, if you will, to their transition? What is that thing that you want to make sure up front you say, look out for?
First thing I tell them is never get too high, never get too down, because it's never what it seems. Meaning, if I've had day 2 picks, I've had undrafted free agents make it. So, for guys that are drafted heading into the city, they think the world is their oyster, for the most part. If you're drafted high enough, but the last year. So I'm like, enjoy it. Treat everybody with respect in the building, from the guy that gets your shower shoes to the GM, and not even cherish every second, but like honor every second of it. And you're there. It's a privilege to be there. Nothing's holding you there. Nothing's keeping you there other than you. So better be able to play ball, one, and you better have a pretty good character, two, because and good health, but basically honor every second of it, and don't ever think you're too high or ever think you're too low.
Is character something you guys look for on the front end in terms of evaluating when you're going into the representation process, when you're thinking about representing a guy? Is that something that you look at heavily on the front end, or is it more about talent and enacting maybe some influence or guidance, or a mixture of?
We want the business partner for 30 years, or 10 years, 3 years, 2 years in the league. We're helping build your nest egg. We put lawyers, provide legal advice, and all that kind of stuff. We want smart guys that realize the opportunity ahead of them on the NFL side, but also already thinking about, okay, well, let's put this, $400,000, away. I'm looking at $4 million, in 10 years if I invest in it. Rather than all I care about is going to Vegas. It just doesn't last.
Yeah,
and that's why there's articles out there. There's documentaries, 30 for 30 broke. It's definitely a niche market for us, because we want guys that are smart, that they're going to be set up the rest of their lives. They do things right.
For sure. Thank you very much for your time. We're very glad to have some advice.
Thank you.
Thank
Appreciate
you.
it. Thank you.